Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lightworkers Connect. I'm really excited that you guys are tuning in to what's going on here inside the Akashic Academy, because many of you guys are entrepreneurs. How many of you out there are spiritual entrepreneurs? If you're a spiritual entrepreneur in the house, give us a yeah, give us some thumbs up, some likes, some loves. If you have considered being a spiritual entrepreneur, if you've considered leaving your old corporate job and creating a job like this that reaches out and shares your knowledge and your gifts and skills and abilities with the growing world, with the world that's so hungry to understand this knowledge. If you've thought about it, give us some likes, give us some loves, give us some shares up in here, because I know that if you guys are drawn to this community, there's an essence of you that is very similar to me, and that is the path that I am on. Therefore, that's the path that of others who have a similar path. I draw them into my energy field, that is exactly what happened with my guest, Renee Li, today. I'm so excited to share Renee with you because her specialty is making this kind of transition possible for people. And it's time for this to happen in our society for so many different reasons. And I'm really excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to bring forward people who are experts in this field to share with you guys today. And Renee, we're so excited to learn from you. First of all, tell everybody a little bit more about you and how you came to realize that you wanted to help this specific group of spiritual entrepreneurs create successful businesses.
Yeah. Well, first, I relate to all those people who are straddling, right? So if you're straddling with a 9-to-5 job and you're trying to have a healing practice on the side, I totally get it. I was there myself. So about 6 years ago, I was straddling a very successful database consulting business, which was a 6-figure business for me. And all of a sudden, after I had my first child, I had like this frenzy of energy and messages coming through that was like, go and start healing, go and learn how to practice Reiki. And that was like my first God breadcrumb that really aligned me with the deeper aspect of my divine blueprint, right? So even though I was doing database work before, in my view, it was still my sole purpose because I was teaching. So there was a little bit of alignment there. Like I knew from a young age I was meant to be teaching, right? And then when the time came, Spirit said, you're ready. Here's a new level of your divine blueprint. Go have a spiritual business now. That was scary to follow that God breadcrumb, right? But I'll tell you, I had to do it because my knees started to give out. I literally had knee pain, right? And it was like, oh, I'm afraid to walk into the unknown. So it was the walking into the unknown along with like a little bit of ego. Because obviously if you start over with a new business, you're starting from the bottom rung versus the top rung, right? And so I had to work through all of that, all those fears in order to step fully in my truth and in my soul's purpose. Once I did that, I just kept following the God breadcrumbs. And really, that's all you can do, right? So Spirit will literally drip you your very next step and only ever your next step. And so as I kept following the God breadcrumbs, one thing led to another. I was teaching everybody how to connect with their spirit guides. And Saint Germain led me to create a retreat in Mount Shasta. Once I said yes to that guidance, which was huge because I'm in New York, right? So for me to fly across the country for my very first retreat with no content, because Spirit hadn't dripped it to me yet, right? It was a huge risk for my family, but we did it. And once I said yes, which is surrender, right? Which is a big key to really have soul purpose success. Once I surrendered to that, Ascended Master Lord Lanto came to me and niched my business for me. Okay, so prior to that, I was teaching like the general public, anyone who was interested in meditation and connecting with spirit guides, even if they didn't want to be an entrepreneur, I was teaching the general public this work. And now Lord Lanto said, no, focus on the spiritual entrepreneurs, the healers, and get them to their highest potential. So when you do this work and follow your God breadcrumbs and really commit to aligning with your divine blueprint, it can be that easy. Things can unfold for you that easy. Because all the, from the head point, it's like, yes, you have to niche, right? All the marketing gurus would tell you, if you talk to everybody, you talk to nobody. And on an intellectual level, I got it, but I wasn't ready to niche. It's that same old self-talk, like that all light workers experience. Like, but these gifts are meant to help everybody. And your heart is so full, right? And you want to help everybody.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is, your soul clients, like, you are only meant to work with one group at a time. By the end of your life of people, right? But at any one given point on your journey, you're meant to work with one particular audience. So that's how I got here, just following the God breadcrumbs, and then Spirit niche my business for me. And now I work with entrepreneurs. Yeah.
It's really exciting. And that is that you talk about finding that niche, that you spotted, and I am saying, I want to help everybody. But I've narrowed mine down to other light workers. I teach other light workers how to expand their current healing modalities by understanding and using the Akashic Records. And that's been my modality of awakening. It's my area of expertise. So that's what I meant to share with people. Even though I can adapt and do a million different things. And that's one reason why Coach Nick is so awesome to have, is like, he really is like, nope, hone in, hone in, hone in. This is very excellent business advice that you're giving us here. And
yeah,
it's so
the impact that you and Nick can have, like, your global impact can be that much more powerful and achieved faster because you're now honed in on your specific soul purpose path, right?
Yes, it's so exciting. How many of you guys are at the stage of your business or have experienced something similar where you get to that point and it feels like you're downsizing and it feels like you're scaling down and you're afraid to do it because you don't want to get too narrow? Anybody ever feel that way before? Oh, my mom is in the house. Hi, Mama. Hey. I know that when we talk about those like big themes that light workers go through, this is another one of them that I've experienced, and that is that fear of getting really, really focused. And that is something that getting rid of that and following that broad God breadcrumb, that bit of truth, has been really, really helpful for me in the growth of my business. I'm super excited to get into the process that you have for us today. You have a very special heart link meditation, an angelic heart link meditation. So can you tell us a little bit about how this is going to help us in terms of that carving out and creating of the businesses that we want to create?
Yeah. So, it all starts with accessing more of the God breadcrumbs, right? Because the God breadcrumbs will get us there. And so how do you access more of the God breadcrumbs? You deepen your spiritual connections. You just, the focus should be to have these deeper connections with your guides, so that you can really have these informal conversations and meetings in the beginning of the day to be like, hey, team, right? Like, where should I take my business today? And can you just imagine, what if your business was spirit-led? A lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, for some reason, there's that disconnect. I'm spiritual, and then my business is different. It's got to be run in a different manner, but it doesn't have to be. And so what if your business was spirit-led completely? It would be this ease and flow. And so the very beginning, the foundation that I offer all my clients is access more God breadcrumbs, deepen your spirit connection. So the experience I want to offer your audience today is the Heartlink connection. It's actually called the Angelic Heart Link. It comes from a modality called IET, which is integrated energy therapy. And it's just, you're going to experience, I'll walk you through it, and then you're going to experience this angelic energy. And it's actually a great self-love practice as well as you move through this entrepreneurial journey, which I also call your self-ascension journey, because it's all about growing yourself so you can show up as the powerful leader you are. Okay, so if you can just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And when you breathe out with sound, that's called a conscious breath. So I'd love you to just inhale through the nose and exhale with sound. And bring your awareness to your heart center. And go ahead and offer up some prayers of gratitude, because this will also open up your heart center. So it can even be a small thing, like you're just grateful for a sunny day today. And that will help you access your heart center more deeply. And from this space of the heart, I'd like you to start to envision a pink column of light stemming up from your heart center. And start to see this pink column of light growing towards your throat center. and continuing to rise up towards your third eye, going past your third eye now, going past your crown. And this heart link is going to continue to grow beyond your body. Just see it rise up towards the ceiling and then beyond your home. So your heart link, this pink column of light, is now towards the sky. Continue to follow it as it rises up past the clouds and into the Earth's atmosphere, beyond the Earth's atmosphere. See your heart link reaching the cosmos. And you're going to intend for this heart link to connect with the heart of your angel. And it doesn't matter which angel, it's going to be the perfect angel. And allow it to connect with your angel now. Start to send love to your angel. So it's going to be a love energy from your heart center going through this pink column of light. The love is flowing through this heart link and reaching your angel now. As you do this, I want you to know that your angel is sending love back down to you. So whatever love you're sending up to your angel, you're actually receiving tenfold of the love back down to you. So just be still and receive this angelic love now. And know that it's safe to be full of love. You deserve this love. This angelic love is filling you up, and it's actually now brimming. You're brimming over with this angelic love. So when you offer love to others, you can offer it up from the extra love that you're brimming over with, and you will never be depleted. Let yourself sit with this angelic love and practice receiving. And this again is a love that you so deserve. And when you practice this on a regular basis, it is self-love care. And you will always access the right angel every time you tune in. Take a deep breath, and there's no need to disconnect this angelic heart link. It will complete whenever it is complete. And so you can leave it in place right now and start to come back into your body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Whoa, I was going to come back slow from the beginning. So that was really awesome. I love that.
Awesome.
It's going to come fully back in and integrate before I try to carry on the conversation, because that was really powerful. Did you guys feel that? I loved that.
And I find a lot of people are uncomfortable like receiving such an overwhelming amount of love, right?
Yes.
Lightworkers get depleted because you give so much. So this is really a great self-love practice.
Yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about first, was that just that feeling of being so filled up with it. And it was almost like I could begin to see how this would play out in the world, just like very, very quickly, seeing in nanoseconds. If every person was filled up with love like that, you know, we talk about like the second coming of Christ in Christianity, and through all different religious texts, there's this idea of what this return, the second coming, is. When Christ returns within us, that level of love, compassion, skill, multidimensional skill, and we become a planet of those beings, that is so exciting to think about that. And these are the beginning stages of that happening, of us learning to understand. And one of the components is really learning how to hold and be comfortable with that frequency within our being, because it's so powerful that you got to get used to it. Like we're used to functioning in this lower dense energy for many generations. And we have to give ourselves that time to get used to that. And that really did that for me, I have to say. It like gave me a physical sensation of what it feels like to be filled up with that level of love and energy.
Yeah. And then a great question to use on a daily basis is, how much light can I hold today?
Yeah.
And this is commitment to continually expand how much you can hold. Huh?
I love that you said that too, because I'll give you guys a little insight on how I start every morning of mine when I wake up. Like as soon as my eyes open, I need some time to like come back into my body before I jump up out of bed. So I always give myself that time where I just invite my light team in and say, all right, make whatever adjustments in my light energy body that need to be made for today. I don't specifically attune it to like guide me in toward my business at that point. But as I'm thinking about how my morning goes, especially this morning, I had time when I was getting ready that was specifically focused on creating that space to be spirit-led in my business and the people that I would connect with today, the people that I would talk with, the information that I would share. So that's another synchronicity when I hear you talking about starting your day and inviting that spirit-led experience of getting you prepared for what it is you're going to do in your business or just in your personal life that day. And that's how I do mine. I ask my spirit team to make the adjustments for me in the morning before I get out of bed.
Always upgrading.
That's right. It is. I love that you said that. It is. It's always upgrading. And yeah, I just have gotten into the habit of calling in the team in the morning and asking for that. Don't you find that another thing that light workers do when we're talking about, oh, the light workers do that? Do you guys forget to ask your team? Do you forget to ask for assistance? Do you forget that you can craft your own ways of receiving energy healing if you need to receive energy healing in a moment? This angelic heart link activation that we just did was so fantastic. How did that come about in your awareness? Did somebody teach you that, or did spirit lead you through that process?
That particular meditation came through the IET modality. So this was back in like 2013 when I was, in the phase of like gathering all the certificates I could, right? Like we all go through that phase.
Yeah.
It's called IET, Integrated Energy Therapy. And it was actually, I think Archangel Ariel dripped this down to a man named Stephen Thayer, who co-created IET with Archangel Ariel. And so it was from that healing modality that it comes from, but it's public knowledge. And so you don't have to be an IET healer to share this meditation with others.
Beautiful. I loved it. Thank you so much. So Renee, when people come to you, when spiritual entrepreneurs come to you for assistance, what does it look like when you start working with somebody? Does it matter if they have like their business up and going? Does it matter if they just have an idea? Like where's the right space to come and find a mentor such as yourself?
I work with folks that already have a business established and they have a healing practice. They've already had practice selling their services to people, right? And so they've already walked through certain divine thresholds, which are fear. So fear, by the way, Spirit articulates that as divine thresholds where you can reclaim your power once you walk through that, right? So I don't work with a beginner entrepreneur, but people who have already put themselves out there, and I help them get to the next level. So the whole point of my work is to help light workers get to their highest potential, whatever the next level success is for them, right? And I help them gain clarity around their soul's core message, which is just another, milestone to aligning with your divine blueprint, right? And once you get clear on what your soul's core message is, then the branding becomes easy, the messaging becomes easy, and then trying to focus on your soul client and attracting your soul client gets so much easier because now you're really clear on what your soul's core message is. Mm-hmm. So that's the beginning steps that I help them with.
I love that. I have found that investing in myself as a spiritual entrepreneur, it's not something that I did at first. I had to because I'm a self-learner in a lot of ways. And I get cheap with myself in a lot of ways too, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm like, well, I can DIY just about anything in life. So the first several years of my business was Emily DIY figuring out business. And when I learned a lot too, by the way. There's nothing wrong with being in that state, but you will find that you will get to a state where your energy opens and shifts and expands, and the investment into your learning, your business, maybe you don't feel like you want to create a business right now, but you want help in, getting that energy to feel good about investing in your own learning. That's a stage that you have to get to along the way. And if you're not at that stage yet, hold space for yourself to expand into that. Because
can I add to that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
Because when you invest in a program where there is a leader kind of holding sacred space for you, that's a sacred container, right? Yeah. Because the bottom line is, guys, you can do it all on your own. It'll take much longer, but you could, right? Like, I'm a techie, so I'm like, okay, let me do the techie stuff myself before I finally outsource everything. You could do it. That's the truth. You could do it on your own. It's much faster when you have someone coaching you, even with like personal training and fitness. It's just the truth in all areas, right? And so for me, I am on third round of having my own coach. It's my second coach. And my first coach helped me to get like consistent income from my high level program since November of 2015. There has not been a gap. I've had consistent income since November 2015 for my high level program, not my e-course. And that's because I had a coach that aligned me with a certain level of clarity and power. And then my second coach helped me to create like 5-figure weekends. None of that would have been possible in a short 2.5 years if I didn't have sacred containers to like pull me up, right?
I love that. I always felt that way in acting too. If I would go into an acting class and okay, forgive me for being a little bit vain here, but I was pretty proud of myself as an actress. And I would go into acting classes, and if I was the best person in the class, I'd be like, dude, I got to get out of here. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. It's time to up-level ourselves, and we do that by surrounding ourselves with the sacred containers. I love how you said that, with mentors, with people who have walked the path before us. And once you invest in yourself to expand in that way, get ready for it, because it's coming into your energy field, because that's the way the energy works. And it's so fun to do this with this community. Renee, it's been really awesome to connect with you, to connect with other people who are actually doing this, because even though it seems like maybe to some of the people out here watching that we're very established in our businesses, there was a point in time when we were not very established in our businesses, when this was emerging. And so just you being here, just you watching, you are receiving exactly what you need in terms of the energy of emergence for where you are. And if you are a person who is ready to dive in and invest in your own knowledge and your own upgrading and the expansion of your business, I'm just going to challenge you to do it. It's time. The world needs what it is that you have to offer. And it's really cool when you run across people who can hold your hand and take you along that process in a way that saves you time and makes you more money. It's exciting. I love the entrepreneurial aspect of what it is that I'm sharing in terms of the Akashic Records, because it's shifting the way abundance circulates on the planet as well. And we need so many layers of shift right now. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. Thank you for being here, my friend. Please tell everybody before we go where they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can go to reneeli.net. That's RENEELI.net. And you can go on there to learn more about the Soul Purpose Success Formula. And there's a bunch of training videos on there. So I'd love to connect with you if you're so guided.
Nice.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's been really a pleasure. And for any of you out there who you're like, oh, well, I wish I could make that investment, I want to share with you that start small if you have to. Check out what's going on in the Akashic Academy. It's $11.11 a month. If you make that investment with the purpose of expanding your own income and investing in yourself, in your own sacred space, you'll be able to work with the high-profile coaches who can help take you to the next level faster than you realize. It's just a commitment that you make to yourself and the universe. So I invite you guys to check that out. It's been a lot of amazing expansion and growth happening at this time in the planet. Thank you guys for joining us. Namaste, everybody. Stay tuned. Jack Coleman will be coming up at the top of the hour at 2 o'clock with life hacking. See you then.
Thank you. Bye.